The first item on the agenda is a special presentation, the Mayor's State of the City Address. And I want to tell everybody thanks for being here because all of you have played a real strong role in everything we've done in the city. And during the address, I'm going to acknowledge individuals. So when your name is mentioned, if you'd stand up and wave to the council, I'd appreciate that. In some cases, the name is not mentioned, but a department is mentioned. So if the department employees would stand up and wave just to acknowledge, but I want to acknowledge as many people I can as we go through this. Tonight I'm giving my last State of the City speech after nearly 8 years as mayor, 13 years on the city council, and before that, 9 years on the planning commission. I'm proud to say that the state of the city is good. There are many people here this evening who have played important roles in our successes in the city of Tukwila, and I look forward to highlighting some of these individuals as we work through this. First, I'd like to recognize everyone who has served on the city council over the past 8 years, including current council members, Council President Kate Cruller, Joe Duffy, Dennis Robertson, Alan Eckberg, Verna Seal, Kathy Hogarty, and Deshaun Quinn. And also I'd like to recognize previous council members, Joan Hernandez and Pamela Linder, who served on the council 2 years after I got in the mayor's office. In addition, I want to recognize the previous administration, former Mayor Steve Mullet and former City Administrator John McFarland. I was contacted today that they have an emergency school board meeting and Steve had planned to be here, but he's unable to attend. And unfortunately, I guess fortunately for John, it's his birthday. And there was a party planned for him over where he resides there. So happy birthday, John. I'd also like to identify others who have served as city administrator with us tonight. Rhonda Berry, Steve Lancaster, David Klein, our current city administrator. Thanks for being here, everyone. It truly is a partnership between administration, the council, residents, businesses, and the hard work on a daily basis that every city employee makes for our city, and they make it a great place to live and to work and to play. And I really appreciate everybody's effort on that. I'm leading tonight's State of the City with our short financial strength analysis because ensuring a strong financial future was the most important thing to me coming into the mayor's job. I want to take a moment here to recognize Councilmember Robertson in particular because he seemed to take ownership of Attachment A in every budget. So Dennis, you have the title of Mr. Attachment A. It hasn't always been easy to retain our strong financial presence, however. You'll remember that the global financial downturn affected us dearly, forcing us to eliminate positions and even making the hard decision to let a few employees go. Like our neighboring cities, this was a rough time, and we still feel some of the effects of that downturn yet today. However, through prudent planning and hard work of every city employee, we weathered that storm. We developed a strong financial foundation by holding the line on new expenditures. We increased reserves and contingencies and continue to identify cost and time-saving opportunities that affect the city's bottom line. Today, after reviewing our fiscal history, Standard & Poor's has given us a AA stable rating. This high-quality rating allows us to take advantage of lower interest rates and makes Tukwila enticing to investors. Just a few weeks ago, we held our first competitive bond sale to finance the Interurban Avenue and the Boeing Access Road Bridge project. Because of our high bond rating, we were able to secure a very competitive interest rate that will save the city significant money over the life of the bonds. Let me add too that the slides are just going to keep showing all the time, so if that's, it's not coordinated to be with a speech at all. It's just going to be circular. So don't think that we've completely lost it up here. We ended 2014 in better shape than we began, with sales tax revenues increasing by about 3%. They were up and down each month, but the overall year end was about 3% increase. In 2014, we experienced very little sales tax from new construction, and that made a big difference. I'm pleased to report that 2015 so far, January and February show a 19% increase over the same 2 months in 2014. And this year, we will experience significant revenue from sales tax on new construction. We have a lot of projects that are just breaking, and most of them should be in progress yet this year. I want to thank the Finance Department for their hard work every day that directly impacts our positive financial health. You've done a great job in working through that recession and into the good times. The fiscal health of our city has not been our only focus, however. When I came into office, one of my priorities was to get stalled projects moving and completed. I'm proud of the work we did on the Klickitat interchange. I am proud of the work we did there, and because of the partnership we forged with the business community on that project, we formed a local improvement district, an LID, the first major one in the city for many, many years. That local improvement district with all the businesses helped pay for the project. We were able to make great changes in the entire central business district. Becky Smith, who is the general manager of Westfield South Center and have been a great partner with the city, will tell you how much easier it is for her visitors and customers, particularly during peak holiday season, to get off and on the freeways. And it isn't just visitors who benefit. Longtime McMicken residents can also testify to the benefits of that project and how the removal of that famous stop sign on 51st made all the difference in the world to improve traffic flow in and out of South Center and out of our residential neighborhoods. Another example of a project we were able to push over the finish line was the Tukwila South project, the largest tract of developable land in King County's urban growth boundary. Did you know there is more land in the Tukwila South area than in downtown Bellevue? Hard to believe, but that's the truth. This project could not have been completed without the excellent work of our former city attorney, Shelley Kirstlake. Her counsel, her tact, her wit, and downright determination to get the project done was invaluable, and of course, she is greatly missed. While I dearly wish that she was here tonight, I'm proud to recognize her family, Dennis and Ian Ball, on behalf of the entire city. We want to thank you for sharing Shelley with us for so many years. Were they able to make it? I didn't see them, but I wanted to acknowledge them. More recently, we have been able to bring other great projects online, such as the new Transit Center on Andover Park West and the Thorndike and Cascade View Safe Routes to School projects. In the works are some game-changing projects, such as the pedestrian bicycle bridge across the Green River that will better connect the urban center with the commuter rail Amtrak station and the 19-story Washington Place Hotel apartments on the old Circuit City property. That site is currently being cleared for this new hotel. Sidewalk and roadway improvements on 42nd Avenue South will go out to bid later this year, and similar enhancements on 53rd Avenue South will break ground next year. Councilmember Duffy.
Thank you.
A lot of our success with projects can be credited to our ability to be creative, our focus on partnerships, and our reputation in the region as a city that gets things done. Tukwila Public Works Department, Bob, deserves recognition for planning and implementing public projects that greatly enhance our community. From the employees in our shops to the engineers and the project managers, these are the great folks who provide the upkeep and expansion of our infrastructure. The new Transit Center is a great example of this, where we leverage state, federal, and even private dollars from Westfield South Center and Acme Bowl to build that transit center. All in all, the city funded less than 2% of the total $7.5 million on that transit center. Now, I know when I mentioned game-changing a few minutes ago, the pedestrian bridge probably wasn't the item that came to your mind. You've probably seen articles in conversation about a multi-purpose arena that would have a significant effect, and I believe a positive effect, on the city of Tukwila, catalyzing the development of the council envisioned when they approved the South Center plan last year, providing significant tax revenue to the city and enhancing our role as a major entertainment center. This potential project is in its infancy stage, and while I'm personally excited about the opportunity, we don't need to get overly excited, and I'm cautioned about that by our Director of Economic Development, but I am pretty excited about that. But I know well there are a variety of steps ahead before it comes to reality in this great city. I also know that our Department of Community Development and our Economic Development Division will approach this effort with the professionalism, the get-it-done attitude, and the timeliness that both have demonstrated on projects over many years. Throughout the last 8 years, and even more so recently, we've worked to improve the quality of our residential neighborhoods. One of the ways we do this is with the update to the comprehensive plan. Currently, we are updating the housing and neighborhood elements of that comprehensive plan, which will be presented to the council later this year. A key partnership in this effort is the Planning Commission, and I would like to recognize its members here tonight. Louise Strander, who serves as this year's chair of the Planning Commission, Michael Hansen, Vice Chair, and the other commission members, Brooke Alford, Thomas McLeod, Sharon Mann, Miguel Maestas, and Nan Nguyen. As a former member of the city's Planning Commission, I'd also like to take this opportunity to identify some former members of the commission who I had the opportunity to serve with a number of years ago. Folks like Jack Flesher, Jerry Knutson, who's with us tonight, Grant Neese, George Molina, Henry Marvin, Vern Merrihew, and Kathy Stetson have played very important roles in the city, giving their time, energy, and expertise to improving our community. A special acknowledgement goes to Bill Arthur for his many years of service on that Planning Commission also. Other initiatives we have undertaken recently to improve residential neighborhoods include increased police patrols, both on bicycle and on foot, neighborhood canvases such as the one we recently completed in Allentown, and kicking off this week is the canvassing of the McMicken neighborhood. Our code enforcement staff recently completed a lien process and continues to identify areas for improvement to close cases faster and provide additional assistance to our neighborhoods. We are initiating the Parks Watch program, and we continue our efforts to provide needed street, sidewalk, and storm drain repair throughout Tukwela's neighborhoods. I have to mention the positive role that Tukwela's Parks and Recreation Department, Rick and all of your people, plays in enhancing our residential neighborhoods and our overall quality of life by maintaining and programming activities to ensure that our city parks belong to all of us and meet the diverse interests and needs of our communities. The other comprehensive plan element is being updated this year is the Tukwila International Boulevard. What a change we've seen there over the past few years. I want to thank folks from TIBAC, that is the Tukwila International Boulevard Action Committee, TIBAC, particularly 3 that have been active from just about day one: Mike West, Sharon Mann, and Pam Carter. Thank you so much for staying the course on that. Because of the great work of the Tukwila Police Department, Mike Villa and all your people, and many partner law enforcement agencies, the motels that were once such a problem for so long are no more. Later this year, they will be torn down, providing an opportunity for new development over just about an entire block on that highway. What an opportunity awaits the city. The Tukwila Village project is coming along. Just recently, the library developers began clearing and grading the property in order to start construction. I sure hope I'll be invited to the ribbon cutting when that takes place. This project has taken a long time. Well, I think about 17 years since I first got involved in it, but that is a long time, but the good things you have to wait for and keep working for. This project has taken a long time and has required a lot of patience, and most people know patience is not my strongest virtue. I'm a little bit impatient, and Derek knows that full well. I'd be remiss, of course, if I didn't talk about what we have done internally to improve the delivery of city services, as well as continuing to develop and enhance an inclusive organization. Tukwila's Human Resources Department has been critical in this effort. This is the part where, if possible, I'd have all 332 city employees stand to be recognized. I think you would agree we have a tremendous team here in Tukwila who truly exemplify the values defined by the city. Those values are caring, professional, and responsive. We continue to strive to make the city of Tukwila a high-performing organization and are using the lean method to identify process improvements in nearly all areas. We have enhanced the city's communications efforts, reorganized some functions for a more streamlined approach, and encouraged cross-departmental efforts that have slashed the traditional silos, enhanced creative problem solving, and resulted in real improvements for our residents, our visitors, and our guests. I am proud of how we worked to modernize city government over the past few years, including enhancing computer use and providing email access to every single city employee now. Our IT department, Information Technology Department, Mary and your people, has been a great partner in this effort. We've automated some functions and brought in online services to enhance employee recruitment, our permitting, and our payroll. Tukwila Municipal Court, which is recognized as a leader in Washington state for a variety of court-related issues, no longer has to print their entire docket. I was amazed when I came into office at how much printing they had to do. Their entire docket and nearly all of their information is available electronically for use by the prosecutors and the attorneys involved. Our transition from a purchase order to a P-card, our credit card system in the city, the P-card has reduced paperwork and staff time in the city's finance department, and it's generated revenue for the city through a rebate program. In 2014, the city earned nearly $70,000 through that P-card rebate program. Not a lot, but it's something. I am very proud of the important work currently underway that has the potential to fundamentally change our city. The work of the current Regional Fire Authority Annexation Steering Committee will determine how to ensure the long-time provision of fire and emergency services here in the city of Tukwila. I want to thank Jessica Jerba, Roxanne Knoll, Becky Smith, Jerry Thornton, and Kathleen Wilson, all of whom serve as the resident and business representatives on that important committee. I also want to recognize the great work of the Tukwila Fire Department and the men and women who provide critical emergency and fire prevention services in our community every day, including the critical emergency management functions. Similarly, the work we are doing around long-term planning for our municipal facilities will have a direct influence on Tukwila's future. Ensuring that we can seamlessly deliver key city services such as public safety and public works is paramount. Existing city facilities that are in danger of failing in an earthquake or a flood have the potential to impede first responders from effectively addressing the needs of our community. I want to thank Joan Hernandez, Jerry Thornton, Michael Hansen, and Katrina Doan for volunteering a significant amount of time that they've invested in helping move this facility study forward. Thank you so much for your time. All of these initiatives, programs, and accomplishments I've mentioned here tonight are directly aligned with Tukwila's strategic plan that we adopted in the year 2012. This was a major project, lasted all during the year 2012, and the council adopted the final version in December of that year. I want to thank Joyce Trantina, who went above and beyond to bring this home for the entire city. She had a lot of help, but you have to have a leader, and she led us through the process. I am particularly gratified with the effort which brought together individuals from across Tukwila, and indeed it looked like from across the globe, to chart a shared course for our great city. Many positive things have come out of that effort, including our award-winning Community Connectors program. Recognized as a creative way to ensure civic participation throughout all of Tukwila's communities, this program would not have been possible without the great partnership and support we have from Global to Local and Forterra. An additional critical partnership we have enhanced over the years includes the Tukwila School District. Two fine examples of this partnership include the work we do with the district on Career Day and the DARE program. I want to personally thank Dr. Nancy Coogan for her work on behalf of not only Tukwila's residents, but their families. I am so proud of the work that faculty and staff perform every day in all of the Tukwila schools. And lastly, I'd like to recognize the mayor's office. That's more than just my office. In the mayor's office, we have divisions that run the gamut of provision of critical human services needs through two very caring employees in that department. Evie? they are caring, and there's only 2 of them. Keep that in mind. They do a tremendous amount of work. I want to thank the city clerk's office that does an excellent job filling critical roles in the day-to-day administration of all city services, and recently getting tremendously involved in public records requests, unfortunately, but that's taken so much more time than it ever took before. Other divisions in the mayor's office include the city attorney, the economic development department, and the exciting and regional work of our tourism department, and our new communications division, which has made a tremendous impact on our city in such a short time. Rachel, thank you so much for everything you do. There's a lot of greatness ahead for Tukwila, as well as many issues on the horizon that we will need to address. So I have questions. How do we continue to expand our support for residential neighborhoods and catalyze all residents to take a greater stake in our community? That's a question. Second question is, where is that sweet spot of balance between enforcement and regulation that can help improve the look of our neighborhoods? Question, with state and federal resources for infrastructure and other needed projects dwindling, how do we continue to make necessary investments in Tukwila? Question, how do we continue to address poverty, housing needs, rising rents, health issues, and food security? Question, where do we find additional resources to better assist the most vulnerable in Tukwila? I will continue to work on these issues during my remaining time in office. Those of you who know me well enough understand that I'll probably still think about these when I'm not in office. I brought them up today because it's not only the responsibility of the mayor for answering all of these questions. Indeed, it's only the partnership referenced earlier that will allow us to creatively find solutions to these big issues ahead. It will take committed residents and businesses, city employees, a city council and administration working together toward our shared goal of continuing to improve the city of Tukwila. Speaking of partnerships, before I close, I must acknowledge the most important one in my life. My wife, Carol. And Carol's here tonight. She's been my most steadfast supporter. She was by my side for 9 years on the Planning Commission, 13 years on the council, and these last 7.5 as mayor. Along with the rest of my family, I owe them a great deal because family events have had to plan around Monday nights. For 21 years, there haven't been very many Monday nights available for the family. Nearly 8 years ago, I took the oath of office, which reads in part, I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of this office as prescribed by law and to the best of my ability. The word faithfully means something profound, and it endows upon the office taker a significant responsibility. I know each of you on the council take that same oath, and you take it as seriously as I do. I have a lot of faith in the future of Tukwila. We have many, many great things going on here. I truly believe we will see more positive changes that stem from the work we have done in the last 7.5 years. We have laid a positive foundation. The next few years will prove that, in my opinion. I have faith in the people who live here, who work here, and come here to enjoy everything we have to offer. They will all be part of bettering this community, taking ownership in our shared future, and investing in our young people. I have faith that collectively we can tackle some of the great challenges we face, and faith that we will continue to be bold and creative in our work at the city. I have a great faith and trust in our city employees and in the elected officials of whom I have been proud to serve with over all these years. Most of all, I have faith in the city of Tukwila, and that we can continue to work in partnership, and we can all make Tukwila truly the city of opportunity, the community of choice. Thank you so much. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. If the council has any questions or comments on the state of the city, I'd entertain that now before we move on. Councilmember Duffy.
I just want to say one thing. I think you forgot one person that on the council, and was Pam Carter.
The members that I stated were during my term as mayor.
Oh, your term
But
as
Pam
mayor.
Carter, we need to acknowledge that. She did serve several years on the council, but she didn't serve in my term as mayor.
Oh, I understand you.
But
I
we
stand you
appreciate that,
corrected.
Pam.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Any other comments? Okay, thank you so much. I think what we'll do now is take about a 10-minute recess, and we'll remove this desktop podium, and I'm going to go out in the audience. For those that don't want to stay for the rest of the council meeting, and there's probably people that aren't really interested in the details, but I really appreciate you being here, and I want to go out and visit with everybody in case you have to leave, but you're welcome to come back and stay, and we'll reconvene the regular meeting in 10 minutes. So that would be about 20 minutes till. Let's do that.